Now, this first speaker is representing my home state of Florida. Y'all give it up. And he's repping my graduate school of the University of Central Florida. But nothing against Florida, nothing against UCF. But there's an amazing homecoming this weekend down in the beautiful Tallahassee, Florida. He's representing Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University, located in the beautiful Tallahassee, Florida, that FAMU. Other HBCUs, calm down. Y'all, everybody want to go to FAM, but I understand, I get it. But anyways, let's go. One thing about this presenter, I asked the question, why did you become a mathematics educator? He said, I teach math for the students who persevere through struggle, proving that support can turn challenges into triumphs. NCTM, give it up for the one and only Shane Wiggan.
You ever have that student who, no matter how many times you try to teach them a math topic, they just don't get it? I was that student. I'm going to tell you a story about my math journey starting as a student. Ever since I was a toddler, I was excited to start school. We'd walk my sister to her bus stop every day, and when the bus came, I would try to get on the bus with her because I was so excited. That lasted all the way through up until kindergarten. This is not me in kindergarten, but this is the face that I made every day that my teacher started talking about math. I would stare at the board, trying to make sense of it, but it just didn't connect. I felt like my teacher was giving me puzzle pieces, and I just didn't know what to do with them. I was collecting puzzle pieces, trying to make them all fit together, but they just were not making any sense. I had so many questions. Why did we carry the 1? Why do we borrow from the tens place if we have no intention of giving it back? I remember asking my teacher after she taught long division, is there a short division? Because that didn't make any sense. In 4th grade, they put me in an accelerated class just solely based off of my reading scores, so I continued to struggle in the math portion. Everyone else around me continued to get it and thrive, and this is how I felt. From kindergarten through 7th grade, that's 8 years, this is how I felt. There's 180 days every school year. Multiply that times the 8 years, 1,440 days that I felt like this, that I just continued to repeat those bad patterns. I tried my best. I did the worksheets. My teacher put a problem on the board. I would try to solve it, memorize it, and just hope that it looked just like it did on the test. It never did. In addition to that, I had challenges in my home life that were unsettled, including a span of homelessness. There was no way for me to concentrate on my homework. All of that took a change when I got to 8th grade. I had an amazing teacher who taught me to search for the context in my problems. Now, I wish I could say that it got easier and I just automatically started to get it, but that's not the case. Most of the time, this is how my brain felt. Even when I got the correct answer, she would ask me all these questions. What does your answer mean? Justify it. Explain it. That was the first time that I actually felt a productive struggle. That was the first time that I realized that my confusion wasn't my failure. It was evidence of my thinking. Fast forward to my first year teaching. That's my first year teaching. Go FAMU. And those same experiences that I had as a student propelled me in my math career as a teacher. I would think about myself as a student in those times where I had all of these thoughts in my head, but they didn't connect or make sense. So now as a teacher, my students practice mathematical discourse so that we can have conversations about how the math is connected and we can make sense of the math. I remember looking at the teacher do problems on the board and it not making sense, so I just sat there at my desk afraid to ask anybody for help. Now in my classes, my students are allowed to help each other, ask me, or anybody else when they need help. I look at my story two different ways. The first way that I look at it is a little sad. I think about the same problems that happened, oddly, 30 years ago, roughly, and they're still here. Math anxiety exists. Students unable to concentrate because of things going on at home still exist. And if I stay in that thought, I get really sad. However, even though all of those struggles still exist, there is hope. The problems still exist, but we have teachers who are able to meet their students in those circumstances and bring them out to where they can believe in themselves of doers of math. So we're in 2025. We all have students who suffer from maybe some of those issues, most of them, or even different ones that I haven't mentioned. And we have a great power as math educators. We are able to take whatever circumstance that they are in and change it to something where they see math differently, they interact with math differently, and they see themselves as mathematicians. Thank you.